Whoop, hello, hello. I think we're live. Give me dos momentos. Let's see if we can get on the old Instagram. All right, here we go. Bloody welcome back, everyone. It has been too long. I don't like missing these streams, but I've been traveling. I've just come back from the US a couple of days ago, and what a bloody whirlwind. I had the absolute time of my life. I am 1,000% my my goals now are how do I get a place there. So I've got to figure that out. That's like a massive goal now. I'm like, all right, I've got to figure out how to bounce back and forth between Australia and the US. It was too much fun, but the best people, and yeah, it's just an absolute dream. Sorry, I'm just getting situated here. Grecke, how you doing? Princess Peach, great to have you. Jez, welcome. Travis, welcome back, my friend. Wakail, I have been binging your live streams and letting them autoplay in the background during my sketch session. It's glad to finally catch a live stream. Thank you so much, Michael. Oh, Mikhail. Mikhail? Thank you so much. Ems Tenor, thank you very much. Emma Isbell, appreciate ya. Like Michael? Sick. All right. I'll stick to Michael. Esteban. Welcome, my friend. How are the audio levels and all that stuff? Let us know. I would like to make sure I'm not being too quiet, and also that I'm not blowing out your ear holes. That would be ideal. Appreciate you, Princess Peach. Okay, so let's get cracking. Also, there's been an upgrade in the studio. Hello. You can't really see it, but it's a big boy, which I'm super excited about. Okay, Onizuka, welcome. Mark Jack, welcome. Kaneki Kun, hello, hello. Travis, yeah, I don't know about living there full time, but definitely hopping back between the Australia and the US. I've got to figure out a way how to do that, because it was so much fun. If California was a spirit animal, it's my spirit animal. I love it. But I still love Australia as well. It's always going to be home. All right, so regular stream. What do we call it? Plan. Just going to do a little warm up. Got this little Suzuki something. All right, and we're just going to have a bit of fun stylizing this just as a quick warm up. Might use the filthy plugin, whip some shapes around, throw some color on him, and then yeah, we'll maybe get into some figures, maybe get into some more character stuff. This was just a little warm up. This guy before stream. Kentaz, the US was amazing. You guys that popped in to Lightbox made my whole weekend. It was so cool just to get to say hi in person. It was sick, and the amount of you that were watching the streams, it blew my mind. If I wasn't there myself, I wouldn't believe it. But yes, I've got many a story to tell, but for now, let's get started. Dairuko, hola, saludos de Argentina. How you doing, Diaruko? Great to have you. Morpheus Art, glad you could join as well. Now, I've also... let's not get sidetracked straight off the bat. Let's not get sidetracked. So yeah, I was there for 3 weeks. First off, stayed with my good mate Christian in San Diego. Christian Nee, some of you probably already know who that is. He was on last stream, he popped in. So stayed with him. And then we stayed up in Pasadena while in a hotel while Lightbox was on. And then I got to stay with my mate Rembert Montold for the last couple of days and his wife Marielle. And Robin was there as well. I don't know his last name, but yeah, it was down in Santa Monica. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. But man, absolute time of my life. And learnt so much as well from like an art perspective. Like if it was just the inspiration alone that I got from the trip, it was well worth going. Also got to meet all the Proco guys. The team there are freaking awesome. Such a good group of people to hang around with. But yeah, let's see. FMAX, sorry I can't watch it. No worries at all. Yash, how you doing? Princess Peach, which graphic tablet did you add to your setup? It looked huge. Yeah. So this has got nothing to do with the US either. But while I was on the plane from Sydney to Adelaide, I looked on Facebook Marketplace and saw this 32-inch Cintiq Pro going for like a ridiculous price. It was like I had to jump on it. So I was like messaging the guy on the plane. He's like, hey, can I come and pick it up today? So the same day that I landed from like a 14-hour flight, two-hour layover, then another 2-hour flight from Sydney to Adelaide. I then got home, got sort of situated, and then headed out to pick up this bad boy. And it came with a flex arm as well. It was like such a steal. It was, yeah. It was. I'm very, very fortunate to have found this, particularly in Adelaide as well, of all places. But no, this is gonna be a new upgrade and new experience, I think, as well, because I'm really like with if you guys haven't already, like, do yourself a bloody favor, go check out Rembert Montold Instagram. Let's whip his page up. You guys already probably know him. I'm probably preaching to the choir here, but just being around this dude when he's drawing, like, I'm so inspired to understand more about the pen and ink stuff. Like, I've never done it. Never played around with it. It's so permanent. It's so scary. So far out of my comfort zone. And I absolutely love it. So I'm going to be exploring that. So I said I wasn't going to go off on tangents, but here we are. So I got myself a brush pen. Right? So I've been playing around with that bad boy. Got myself some other supplies. Also, Blick's art store. Amazing. Nothing like what we've got over here. And then, yeah, got some other like pens a bit. So I'm getting all traditional. But just the freedom to like create like this stuff. Like he teaches at our art center. So he just sits down and does these like amazing sketches, and I was able to just sit next to him and work with him. He's a really cool dude as well. And just, yeah, that freedom, right? So that's what I want to explore a lot more of. Anyway, I said I wasn't going to tangent, but here we are. Let's have a look. Gaming clips. What do I think about the US election? No comment. This is not a political stream. This is a let's hang out and draw. But yeah, so I'm just doing the simple shapes to begin with. Can you please make a little YouTube tutorial for how to paint skin light dispersion? Pretty please. I'm sure I'll touch on that topic in a YouTube video. So also content plan, YouTube all the way, baby. We're going full bore. That was the plan when I left, and it's still the plan now. I'm spending a lot of resources and time on cranking this YouTube channel, getting those longer videos out, which a lot of people have been asking for, which is going to be good. Yash, do you think Artist 12 will be okay for someone who draws for, let's say, 6 to 7 years, buying from my own money? So I'm curious. Artist 12, I'm not entirely sure. And Tando, I have his art book. It's so good. I know, right? It's amazing. And a lot of it is just in ballpoint pen. In ballpoint pen, no fancy, nothing. And that's what I love that. It's just like the scrappiest of materials. But yeah, when I landed in LAX, it felt so much like bloody like GTA. Like literally. And then at the end of the trip, I got to like walk around Santa Monica Pier. I was like, get out. I wasn't even expecting that, but I was like, shit, this is the GTA thing. The GTA pier. Let's do some fun stuff here. Also, In and Out, the best thing ever. Yesterday I made my own In and Out burgers, protein style, of course. Sketchy, how you doing? Paul. It was great to meet you. No, you're a good Paul. You're a good. No, it was lovely to meet you, man. No, it was surreal to get to meet you. But I'm making it a yearly thing, 1000%. Whether I get accepted into Lightbox or not, I'm hopping over there without a shadow of a doubt, doing everything in my power to make it a regular thing. But I'm also hoping, because of the pen tablet, I've always used just like, I had a screen tablet but I never used it because it was quite small and the resolution was a little bit lower. And then it ended up breaking anyway, so I couldn't use it even if I wanted to. So I'm hoping this is going to translate well into doing more traditional stuff as well, particularly pen work. Because it's literally the lines are going where my pen is, you know what I'm saying? Stark Jr., I discovered your channel and IG account recently. I kid you not, I finished all the Instagram reels in a few hours. It's been incredibly helpful for my assignments. I am an animation major. Stark, that's awesome to hear. Thank you so much for popping past. Ishan, how you doing, my friend? Kentas, can everyone go to Lightbox? Would love to go next year. Yeah, everyone can go to Lightbox. You just got to get a ticket in time. I think it's 3 days, and you can either get the 3-day pass or just like go on individual days. And when I meant accepted, like to have a booth, so they don't accept everyone to do booths, and they kind of cycle out the artists every year, so it's kind of a up in the air if I'll get accepted again. But I've got to figure out visa stuff so I can actually have things for people while I'm there. Also, big learning experience. I don't know if I've got the box. Like the amount of people that gave me like cards, like the art cards and stuff like that. It was awesome. So I've got to make myself up a set of those to give back. So I felt bad that I didn't have anything else to to give. But no, it was so cool just meeting everyone. It was, yeah. Absolutely amazing. I highly recommend going to Lightbox as well. It's like the mecca for like all of this stuff. Just art, animation. And also, if you've messaged me on Instagram since then, I haven't gotten around to going through all of them because I've just been traveling and only starting to get back into the flow of things pretty much today and yesterday. So I will get back to your messages. Do not fret. But yeah, so I'm practicing here my line work a little bit more instead of going straight into shape, because I mean that's a goal that I mentioned that I wanted to do, more of the line worky sort of brush penny kind of stuff. So I'm just spending a bit more time and slowly getting my mileage up, inventing shapes. And then let's invent, I don't know, something on top of here. Maybe this is like a rocket propelled, but like one of those old school kind of rocket spaceship, Pizza Planet-esque type of rocket ships, you know. This is what I want to get good at as well, just like inventing things on top of other things, but it's all to do with perspective. I've actually been watching a lot of Kim Jong-gi's work. Don't want to copy his style necessarily, but I want to understand how he thinks. And pick up some of that imagination juice. Bashar, how you doing? Great to have you back. But yeah, boy did I miss the streams. That's one thing. Yeah, I really, really missed them. Missed the chats. And it was really good as well to hear what you guys found useful as well from my content, just in person, you know, because it's a lot of the time, like I've been in such a bubble here in Australia, like you just don't know. It's just numbers and comments and stuff, but actually seeing and having a longer chat with people, it's really, really interesting to hear what people have gotten from the content. Now I've got to get out of the habit. I've got a bloody big screen now, so I don't want to be zooming in and out all the time. I've got to stop that bad habit. Yeah. Also got to get better at adding details and characters to these scenes as well. So I might do something like this, so the steering wheel would be here. See, how was Lightbox? I've just been talking about it for the whole first part of the stream, but it was amazing, absolutely amazing. And I'm sure I'll remember things in subsequent streams as we go. How did the rotatable tablet at Procreate feel? It's always amazing, but we've got full rotation with this bad boy as well. So this was, yeah. So I can like draw with this up here, and I can just sort of like be a very terrible streamer and just block half of you guys out. Also, Prashan, friend of the stream. Met Prashan. Oh, look what he got me. a little pen holder. Pretty cool. That was a surprise. Did you do a conference at Lightbox? No, I was just tabling in Artist Alley. See, I did get the wake up, but it was completely irrelevant from the trip. It was something that I found on Facebook Marketplace here in Australia while I was on the plane. And I picked it up the same day that I landed. Because just using it all weekend and in demos at Proco and stuff. So I'm also going to have a video coming out on Proco at some stage. I don't know when. But I am very grateful to those guys for having me pop into the studio. And blab on about my process and whatnot. Ishan, it's the Wacom Cintiq Pro 32-inch, but it doesn't. You can't. It's discontinued. For some reason, they don't sell the 32 anymore. That's why I jumped on it. Christian, speak of the devil. Travis, I was waiting for a Lightbox live on YouTube, but was happy to see the Proco vid. Yeah, Travis, the internet in that place. Like, if I paid for it, it would probably be better. But just like, I couldn't text or like message anyone while I was in that. It was like a bunker. Everyone else trying to get on the Wi-Fi, and yeah, that was a challenge, but it was fine. It worked out okay. All right, look, we're playing around. Let's start. I'm gonna leave the character out of it just for now. I kind of just want to throw some shapes around on the car itself. And as always, going to be playing around with the filthy plugin. Love the Lightbox Underground, yeah. But yeah, it's just so cool to actually meet some people that have just been online friends and acquaintances that now we've met in person, which is cool. But getting recognized, I did not expect that to the degree that it happened. It's kind of like surreal because I've never had that happen before. And then I lost my voice. Also, throat coat tea, the best. You want to, for anyone doing conferences or expos or whatever, throat coat tea is your best friend if you're going to be talking a lot. It saved my ass. How are the Christian, if you're still here, how are the cats doing? Cool. So just blocking out this big main shape. Let's while we're here, let's crack in that little vignette. I guess. What are you talking about? Feels not available. Okay, just something to throw in the background. And I think I'll put an indication of the shadow. Cuddling little Max right now, nice one. But yeah, dude, you got to get this flex arm. Because just being able to have it set up and then you can just like use it as the monitor. Highly, highly recommend it. Dutch is doing better. Cast is going to be on for another month. Oh, he's got a cast. Poor little bugger. But at least he's doing better. Sticky Stars, do you think the brush you sketch with matters, or should you just sketch with any old brush and it doesn't matter? I think the brush matters about... Okay, put it this way. Depending on what you want to do, right? If you are having trouble drawing shapes at will, right? And drawing cylinders and spheres and then connecting shapes together and just being able to like rotate them in space, whatever which way that you want. If you're having trouble doing this with the basic brush, then the brush is the least of your issues, right? But as you get better and as you have a better understanding of this kind of 3D thinking, then the brush is more of a stylistic thing, if that makes sense. Venus, how you doing? Christian, do you have the adapter? What adapter is that? You're talking about the Lumix one. I had a look around. I don't have it. I remember putting it in that box at Lightbox. The cardboard box with the cords. Whether someone's picked it up at Proco accidentally, I don't know. But I will keep an eye out for it. And if I have accidentally taken it, I'll ship it back to you. Okay, now I'm just going to put in the darks, right? Oh, there's an adapter for the whack on my arm. No, this is, I don't know if you can see. Can I show you? So it's like, it's just out of, hold on, let me change the view. Yeah, you see it like down in the corner here. It's like made for this one. It's not a Vaser mount or a Vaser mount or whatever. It's like a specific to this one, I think. Venus doing well, studying side profiles right now, having issues with the mouth part, but it's pretty fun learning it. Yeah, profiles are tricky, right? Because in your mind, or at least in my mind, I was like, oh, it's just like, it's very two-dimensional, but it isn't. It's still working with 3 dimensions. I was going to get one, but it's like an additional 300 or something for the one I have. It's a little, yeah. But honestly, dude, like it'd be money well spent because you can have it on your desk and you actually use it, and then you have the space to then put it up, edit, bring it back down, draw and stuff, put it back up, edit, you know what I mean? I was planning on buying a new tablet, but I'm stuck on deciding whether if I should choose a Wacom or a Huion. It's really going to be dependent upon your budget, because Wacom can get pretty expensive. I think work within your budget, because they're getting pretty good nowadays. Venus, what kind of car is that? A minivan? No, it's like a Suzuki something. I don't know, like a little 4-wheel drive kind of thing. So I'm just whipping in some of these local kind of values, I guess. Maybe yeah, just doing the local values, like the tire colors, right? Not worried about too much of the shading or anything like that. Let's just get that whole shape in there. Below that, so to put this simply, if I see that something is a certain color. If you were to describe it to someone, that's the color I'm putting down. I'm not worried about how the light's affecting it or anything like that just yet. Let's get rid of that. Danya, great to have you. First timer. Welcome. Marcio Teller, how you doing? Mr. Bosworth, great to see you at Lightbox. Ah, it's great to see you as well. Thanks for popping past. Sorry, the Instagram chat is terrible. You have mentioned all the good places in the US. Hope to see you on your next visit. Yeah, I might do a little bit more exploring on my next visit as well. Might come down for a little bit longer. Because I want to check out a whole bunch of places. Okay, actually, let's just start throwing in some lights and darks, right? So, darks first, multiply layer. Let's just start throwing these guys in. Let's bump up the color here just so it's a little bit more interesting. And now I'm squinting down to see if I can find some of these darker colors. These darker values, I should say. Not darker colors, darker values. Same. Kentas, I'm struggling drawing the current perspective as you do. Any advice? Breaking it down into the simplest shapes. There's a lot of cubes here. Or like how I've done it is kind of like wonky cubes. So if you can start drilling simplified cubes and those kinds of things, I think that would be very beneficial. Because that's a lot of what this is all made out of. Actually, let's get some of those headlights and some of those lighter colors going, and then we'll worry about the lighting afterwards, because that's kind of like the cherry on top sort of stuff. Bashar, I'm colorblind. Do you think it's okay to always substitute green for olive green for everything that is naturally green in real life? That's a very specific question, Bashar. For me, substitute with whatever works for you. You know, for me, values are the real underlying secret source of color. So if you can nail your values, you can have a lot of leeway with the colors that you choose, if that makes sense. All right. I think I'm getting a little bit too layery. This is just a warm-up. We're not looking to get the most amazing little Suzuki, whatever this is. Odd question, but what would the digital artist equivalent of filling up a sketchbook? A portfolio? Get a folder. A folder and just put all your PSD files in it, or whatever your digital software of choice is. Stark, tips to simplify and stylize characters. I tend to draw realistic proportions, but I need some dramatic stylization. It's hard to describe that when I'm not actually doing it right here, but I'll try my best. When it comes to stylizing characters, understanding the simple shapes at like a base level. So even with this guy, right? For example, he is broken down. You got me on a tangent now. Well done. You get a badge of honor for I am prone to doing this, going off in tangents. But let's say, right, each of these stylized shapes of the face. Oh, let's get my bloody big head out of the way. Hold on. Uno momento, por favor. Oh, come on. Here we go. It's better. So, each of these shapes or features, let's say, can be broken down into their simple or the simplest shapes, right? This ear, I like to think about the ear as a cylinder, you know? Then the head. I like it. It was tough for me to understand when people explained like the head in a box. It makes sense to me now that I've got an understanding of perspective and all that kind of thing. But that really confused me, like quite a lot. So I liked to build up my drawings, let's say, just with a 2D head shape. Right, you got the jaw and whatever. And then from there, see if I can sort of swap between 2D and 3D thinking. So we've got this basic 2D shape, right? It's just a big kind of basic 2D shape. Then I could start to find the side planes of this head. So this is going to be a separate plane to the top of the head. Then we've got the center line, which can help us. And then you start kind of carving in the separate shapes. So starting from larger to smaller shapes helps me out a ton. And then you come in and start to think about, okay, the eyes are spheres, right? Sitting inside the eye sockets, right? And that's how I like to think about drawing. I'm building the drawing up versus having something in my head and just like tracing it from my memory, if that makes any sense at all. So yeah, well done. You got me on a tangent. Back to the car. Artistic. Lightbox was amazing. It was, yeah, absolutely amazing. Felipe Roan Art. Hello, I'm speaking from Brazil. I've been following you for a long time. Your art is an inspiration. Thank you so much, Felipe. You're too kind. Thun Guns. Welcome back, my friend. Wait, what? Head in a box? I've only heard of the Loomis method. Oh, there's many methods. There are many, many methods. No worries, start. Hopefully that made some sense. All right, now I'm going to start to play with this multiply layer. Start adding in some of these darker tones into this little automobile. So I'm going to be kind of loosey-goosey with it as well, like nothing crazy. Detailed. Getting that little bit of indication of this, like the reflections of the environment as well, can help. Just to begin with, getting a little bit of texture in there, and then we can come through and refine it later on. Again, I'm using the Filthy plugin, but you don't have to. You can just use the lasso tool and fill it in as you go. This just, I like this because it speeds it up a lot. Excuse me. What is the favorite part of drawing? Since I got into stylization, I used to do a lot of, what's the word? A lot of realism. Since I've got into stylization and trying to understand these, what I was talking about before, the simple 3D shapes, blah, 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 blah. It's just become like everything's like a big puzzle that I'm uncovering as I go, which is very, very satisfying. which has made drawing a lot more enjoyable than just copying a piece of reference. Nothing against that. References, copying reference one to one and getting it bang on is useful as a skill. But I was just getting a bit bored of that, unfortunately. Super. Great to have you back, my friend. Yeah, going good. Going good. Travis, what kind of printer do you use to print your art and at what DPI? I believe it's the Epson P700, and the paper that I have been using, I don't have it on me at the moment. I believe it's the Epson Archival Matte A3 paper. Yeah, it's a great little printer. It's like an art printer. It's like like you could classify that as giclée, because they use ink. What is it? Inks, and not it's like a type of ink that they use. Mind you, it's not cheap, but the quality that you get sort of speaks for itself. Now I'm going to start whipping some colors in, just without layer modes, just using a normal layer, and starting to identify some of these colors that I'm seeing in here. All right, so there's going to be some greens, and we're trying to sort of give the indication of this sort of stuff. We're not going super high fidelity realistic. Could even use the line tool, which is always fun to have a play around with, just to get the outside of the license plate. Bashar, my professor, would always get angry with me when I would use that method though, because they paid Proco for their lesson, so Limis method it had to be. But I think even Proco would tell you, like, adapt and use it like where it makes sense to you. You know, like I use a hybrid of all sorts of stuff. Some stuff that I've found more useful on my own, and then some stuff that I'll utilize from others. Like there's no one way to do any of this stuff. And anyone that tells you that, let's keep it nice. I think that they're an idiot. No, I think that that's not the way to go about it. Being like dogmatic about the whole thing, it just doesn't make any sense to me. And it's all depending on your goals, right? If you want to draw a certain way, and there's a technique that gets you the result that you want, but it's not the right way to do it, then who's to say that it's the wrong way? Printers are never cheap, I know. And then they get you with the ink. If the printer is like decently priced, then it's like, all right, we got you in the long run because you have to use our inks. Yeah, it's what is it? It's a pigment-based ink versus another whatever ink. So it can technically be giclée. Had any enlightening art talks with the artists on your trip? Probably. I can't think of the top of my head at the moment. Had some enlightening content talks though, which is interesting. But unfortunately, I don't think I can share those. But one thing I've found as well, like people that you think have got it all figured out, they're still trying to figure it out. This whole game of content. I'm still trying to figure it out. And that's just going to be a never-ending challenge. Alright, so I'm just putting in some of these darks of the windshield. Man, I want to talk to the meta developers and just update. Oh, Marcio, the only reason I can't cancel my Adobe Photoshop subscription is because of you and your filthy plugin. I don't know if I hate you or Marcio, my apologies. Oh, that sucks. Anibar, no, you're not late. You're fine. You're fine. Are you making the Pizza Planet truck? That's what came to my mind. Just to add a little something different on top. I guess you could say it's a Pizza Planet truck. Venus, do you ever do master studies? I haven't in a long time. I really should. Have you tried colorblind painting? No, I haven't, but I've got an idea for a reel that could be interesting for. Brothers Gamer 7, how you doing? Fun Guns, is Rembert not a deity? Yeah, he is. No, he's a bloody cool dude. And yeah, just watching him work in person, the thought that goes into composition was interesting and enlightening as well with his work. Because he was in the middle of recording something for the Proco guys while I was there. And there's a recording of me and him chatting about the composition of the piece that he did. That may or may not be left in, who knows. LVN, welcome back. Ben, how do you change the brush size on Photoshop? No, I don't use brackets. I use, I hold down, so I'm on a Mac, Control and Option, and then I drag out and in. That's the fastest way I've found to change the brush size. Speaking of, I might just come through and just do some brush work. Why not? I do want to turn off the shape dynamics though, so that it's just a flat color. But I also want to keep the angle, so pen pressure off. Have you ever watched James Gurney? I was watching his videos yesterday. He does a bunch of gouache and oil. Oh yeah. Funnily enough, at the Proco booth, I did a demo for the Proco guys, and he was on before me. I was sandwiched between James Gurney, then it was me, then it was Morgan Weisling. And I was like, shit. I feel very out of place. But no, it was all good fun. Main theory, you're making a huge impact on artists who need guidance or want to expand their knowledge and skills. Thanks for sharing your process. I appreciate it, Main. You're too kind. Anirban. Was watching you on Insta. Loved your work so much. Switched to YouTube to see the big picture. Nice one. That's the play, I reckon. You get a lot more context. Also, how a funny thing when I went to I don't know if I said this on last stream, but oh well. I went to Barnes and Noble, which is the American like bookstore. Went for a walk there. No, we drove up there just to check it out. And I went up to one of the... I couldn't find the art section, right? I went up to one of the ladies. I was like, oh, excuse me, sorry to bother you. Whereabouts is the art section? She's like, the what section? It's like the art section. She's like, the what section? I was like, oh no. And I had to put on the accent. I was like, oh, the art section. She's like, oh, the art section, yeah. It's right up the front on the right. I was like, thank you. I felt so cringe doing it, but I was like, I got it. She doesn't know what I'm talking about. But the R's are a massive thing over there. They really like R. And I had to say some sentences over again in American to communicate sometimes, but it was fun. It was funny. So now I'm just throwing in some of these greens because the background's green. We might even want to put the background in a little bit just to show the context. Let's get back to chat. Nintendo started your Procreate class yesterday, by the way, Ben. I'm enjoying it already. Oh, good reminder. Procreate. My Gumroad tutorial is on Procreate, and it's got an extra 2-hour. Here you go. Quick plug, because it's only the sale's only on for this month. So let's have a look. Headturnaround.psd. So here's the Procreate exclusive. So I take you through the character that's in the main tutorial and how to invent a head turnaround. And I recorded that while I was over there, so that was good fun. That's an exclusive thing only to Procreate that you can't get anywhere else. So, but nah, glad you're getting something out of it. You can yeah, just go to procreate.com. I should have all the links and stuff. What am I? Such an amateur. Mark, Jack, the Toy Story aliens drive the Jeep. They did, yeah. That's not a bad idea, actually. John, good to be back here, Ben, on your stream. Great to have you back, John. No worries, LVN. Broco Eble Panka. Hopefully not Broco. Yeah, no. If I'm looking to get a place over in the US, I've got to be the opposite of Broco. Branco. Venus, do you think more of the art/animation industry uses Photoshop over Clip Studio Paint? I remember being shocked when I heard people drew on Photoshop. I think it's whoever you talk to is going to give you a different answer, honestly. A lot of the software, very, very similar. Very similar. Some do things better than the others. Jessanne, great to have you in chat. Great to meet you. Yeah, I remember we went to, what was it? The Cheesecake Factory. Turns out the Cheesecake Factory doesn't just sell cheesecakes. So it's kind of false advertising. I didn't even have a cheesecake at the Cheesecake Factory. I had a salad. It was nice though. But we've got a place here called the Cheesecake Shop, which that's all they sell. So I had a very different idea of what the Cheesecake Factory would be. That's it, Venus. That's exactly it. Art. The art section. Young word, I was hesitant on getting a display tablet because I believed it would promote bad posture, but it looks like you're holding up pretty good. Yeah, because I've got this at like an angle. So it's kind of, you can't even fucking see it. Hold on. I've got this at an angle, which is quite good for my posture, but you can put it right down here and go full shrimp mode. Right, so just got to be careful with that. I would like one cheeseburger, please. Yeah, that's right. It felt like I was in a movie because I've only heard like I went to America when I was like younger, but I can't really remember that. But just like, because as Australians, we grow up with like all American media, right? Like all of the shows and everything. So it was kind of odd to hear like the American accent not coming from a screen. It was coming from like 360 around. I felt like for the first day or so, I felt like I was in a movie. Because it's like, it's not the people talking to you, it's the little conversations that you hear. Like if you're walking down the street and you hear someone having a chat about whatever, it's like, it's all in America. I don't know. It's kind of like, no shit, you're in America. Yeah, I understand that. But that was like a kind of cool thing that I picked up on. Or just like a feeling of like, whoa. I am in a movie. And San Diego is beautiful as well. If you haven't been, highly recommend it. Same as I can't remember. The pier, the San. What was it? The GTA pier. Not San Antonio. Santa Monica. There we go. Why I couldn't remember that, I don't know. Yes, you had your first ever mojito though. True, I did. At the Cheesecake Factory, which it was not an option at the cheesecake shop here in Australia. That's for sure. But no, it's great to hang out. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, with this, I'm drawing a lot more with my shoulder, which if I wasn't talking, right, I would be getting a lot more done a lot faster. And a lot more accurate as well. It's not this like necessarily the size of the tablet, it's like the ability to use my shoulder. Venus, yeah, I saw yellow school buses everywhere. They were so cool. Again, felt like a movie. Because we got like just, I don't know, we got kind of weird buses here. I want you to speed run through the whole process now. All right, let's do it. Let's throw on the timer. Got a speed run because I like to do some character stuff. How do I do the timer again? Tools. Timer? No, not that one. How do I... Docs. There we go. Countdown timer. All right. What do we say? 15 minutes and then we wrap it up? Not making any promises, but that's the goal. All right. 3, 2, 1. Whoop. Off we go. And you can't even see the timer, but that's okay. I can see the timer. All right. I'm just going. I'm going to go. I'm going to chat to myself. And then I will reconvene with you guys after. So I'm just trying to find the lights and the darks here. So let's just go. Boom. It's the subtleties as well. Also, with trying to understand how Remba and even Kim Jung-gi does the pen work, or the pen, like the inking, I guess you could say. Those little whisper lines. If you guys are familiar with me, sort of discovering that idea in like my line work YouTube video, that's a massive part of getting something to feel detailed and not detailed at the same time. It's hard to explain because I'm not doing line work right now, but that was an eye-opener, that's for sure. Okay, let's get in here. Let's add in some darks. Let's splash some color around as well, hey? Let's just go crazy. No, I'm not meant to be looking at chat. Let's just speed run. Boom, boom, boom. Now, I don't advise this. This is purely for chat purposes, for stream purposes only. Take your time. Do not rush. That is just a recipe for frustration. Believe me, I've been there. many a times. Alright, I think we merge. We merge it all down into one. Whoa, 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 whoa. And we're back. See, that's what happens when you rush. You make mistakes. Alright, let's just merge it into one layer. Sick. So now it's going to be easier just to move stuff around and play. Okay. But yeah, the architecture over there is really nice as well, particularly in like San Diego and Santa Monica. Like all the houses look kind of different. Over here, the houses kind of look same. But the houses and stuff over there are sick. Very Spanish in style, particularly in San Diego. Did I say Spanish in styled? Inspired, I think, is the correct word. Alright, we need to start making some moves in this little chess game. I see your local value and I raise you some light shapes. I don't know what I'm talking about, but that's okay. Let's add in blah blah blah, whatever this is, doesn't matter. It can just be lines and squiggles for all I care. This is not the focal point. Let's get the line tool and just whip that in there. So also quick mention, the old line tool works with Filthy as well, with the plugin, which is very nice. Okay, so let's add these grill marks. That works. Okay, so we haven't added much of the light shapes in yet. I kind of just wanted to block in some of the darker shapes. That tends to be what I like to do. Right, but you see where I've left little bits of what's the word? Like spaces and gaps and that kind of stuff. That can be used for a kind of guide for me to add some of the light shapes in. Let's add, yeah, let's just do it. Let's just add some of the light shapes. We don't have to get it all fantastically rendered out. Now I'm going to use the Filthy plugin to just whip in some shapes really quick. So we go, and out of context it can start to not look quite right, but as I start to add more and more, like let's say what kind of color, it might be a little bit more desaturated. That's all I'm seeing are these little, you could even call them like little artifacts. Squint your eyes and start to see where they group. We're trying to just get the impression of some of these light shapes, and slowly it can start to really make things pop. And give it dimension. And the benefit of understanding the shapes that we've put down is that you can just start to play and bend and do whatever you want, and it can start to feel fairly realistic. Like these shapes aren't exactly the same as the reference, which was the goal. So I'm squinting down as well. It's starting to come together. It's kind of like a magic trick that I'm an audience member with as well. Like it's good fun. Now instead of these, so I might make these quite bright, like pretty intense. And then I'll do some like secondary, maybe more blue saturated highlights for like the top here. Let's push it more into the aqua. But the beautiful thing about digital is this is a bit too intense. I don't hate it, but it's a little bit too intense of a blue. I can just as easily knock back that layer at any point that I want, which will sort of set it in to the scene a little bit more. How are we going for time? 6 minutes. Shivers. Okay. We've still got to do something with this rocket, don't we? Alright, we've got somewhere with this. I do want to add that indication. Let's knock it back just a tad. Reduce the opacity. Set it in the scene a little bit. Let's go back and add in just some indications of greenery in the background in that little vignette. I learned that word in university. Vignette. One of the few things that I did learn in university. That sounded nasty, didn't it? I didn't mean it to be. So really just throwing in some abstract kind of shapes that somewhat resemble some of the reflections of the car, you know. Could even help myself out a little bit. Darken these down. So then I can go over the top. And what could be cool as well is to break some of the silhouette. So we've got a new layer on top and we can kind of make some of these leaves pop out. Now I would spend a lot more time and really understand like the light. So if I was going to do this like really like more detailed. I just don't want the same green in here as well. It's looking a little bit same. So I might just choose the hue shifts. So it just tweaks those leaves ever so slightly. It's kind of like a cool motif, a vignette. Alright, back to the car. What color is this? What color? Let's go from memory. The Pizza Planet color. The rocket color. Now, whoa. That's not what I wanted. Let's get that clippy mask going. Okay. Now let's think here. Color, just to change the color. Makes sense, right? Change the color here. And then try a different mode. Okay, that works. So now there's going to be some reflections underneath here. And then these guys are going to be red. I'm running out of time. Why did I give myself a time limit? Do the old flip, see how we're feeling. Not terrible, not great. So like, is there I can't remember without looking at reference. Was there like a different coloured nose on it, maybe? I don't know. We'll see. How are we going for time? 1:23. Jeez. Screen, that's what I'm after. So you'll notice a lot of the reflections on the car are on the top. Alright, so I'm trying to mimic that a little bit. A little bit of reflection here. And this would take a lot of finessing and noodling around, but that's going to be a lot in shadow, I think. Underneath here. You pick up some of this green reflecting. And maybe even on the car itself, reflecting a bit of that on top. Probably wouldn't have that angle. You might not see too much reflection. But just an indication of it. Going for time. Zero, zero, zero. Okay. Yeah, Ishan, the perspective is off. That's all right. All right, let's catch up with chat. Marcio, I use OBS and I use a plugin called Vertical to put it out to Instagram and YouTube. All right, let's get back. Venus, what's an art discussion you're tired of seeing? Like, is using references okay? Tracing digital versus traditional? Digital versus traditional. Not really annoying to me, because if someone's new to it, they don't know what they don't know. So those questions are all valid. Some people might get annoyed with them because they hear them all the time, but I hear those questions a lot because I've put myself in the position to hear them, if that makes sense. So it doesn't really bother me at all, because I didn't know that. Whisper lines are often used in product design drawings as well, yes. Sugar Beats, am I American now? No. Welcome, Sugar Beats. I don't have a hint of an American accent. Smokiness, how you doing? Me, first time on YouTube stream, so I have a question. Do you ever post or plan on posting these studies somewhere, as in picture form? Maybe, eventually. I've done a lot of these little cars, so it could be cool to just collect them somewhere. Yeah, giant spider would have been cool, Sugar Beats. It's like watching Ben use the filthy tool and feeling that I could also create something with the exact same brush equivalent to his art. Yeah, the brush doesn't matter nearly as much as the understanding behind it. Venus, JC Linedecker is a massive inspiration. That's for sure. Old Normie and JC, a couple of good guys. Gockman, how you doing? Stark Jr., what are whisper lines? I will point you, so I don't bore everyone in chat, to one of my YouTube videos about line work. We'll hopefully explain it. All right, let's get to some character stuff, eh? This is a fun little warm up. So, whoop, my apologies. All right, let's go to our stream figure reference. So the link should be in the description for this one. And let's see if we can just have some fun stylizing some shapes. My phone from 1920s is ringing. Happy Diwali. How you doing, Guarav? Ben, is it okay to copy other artists' techniques to improve our digital art? 1000%. I learn a lot by watching and following your process. What are your thoughts on this? Yeah, how else are you going to learn? That's, you buy a book from an artist, they're showing you their techniques and how they do stuff. That's the only way you learn. That's the only way I've learned. If only this wasn't taken with a bloody toaster. No, it's an ad. It got me. Let's have a look. I like this lower down perspective. That's interesting. So let's see if we can play around with that. And you guys can't see the whole thing, so I'll just drag it on here. Boom. Some ordinary person, how you doing? Super, you should do a fan request stream, and that's definitely not an excuse to get you to draw my OCR. Super, I see you working. Yeah, I want to do some experiments with the stream, definitely, and that sounds like a good idea. Yeah, Ishan, I don't think that's what they were asking. That's kind of like a common sense. Adam, it was amazing. Absolutely loved it. Sugar Beats, why can't you paint? All right, let's play with some shapes, hey? Let's get our shape dynamics back on. Pen pressure. All right, so what I'm looking for is the horizon line, right? This is one thing I've learned recently. Adam, there you go. You got it. Pick up the brush and start going. All right, so if this was a cylinder, okay, if we're encapsulating the figure, that horizon line or the eye line is kind of here. All right, so we're going to be looking up at the head. And we're looking slightly down at the feet. Okay, so then maybe we put the head. Yeah, not going for likeness or anything like that. Why does your battery go to die when watching your stream? I know. So does mine all the time. During streams. I do have an iPhone. Yeah, there was something that they do, that I saw that they do. It was like a whole investigation thing. Of like they kind of, somehow it reduces the battery, or something with the iPhones as they get older. They kind of, what's the word? Turn down the goodness of them. Alright, so I'm just trying to find that perspective here. The big shapes. Right, and everything I want to keep in mind this kind of horizon line, but, and kind of circling up. You see a bit under the chin here. The nose, you see under the nose. The brows. I'm kind of trying to challenge myself to sort of do more extreme angles as well. I mean, this isn't super extreme, but just sort of like dipping my toe into more kind of extreme angles. All right, let's scooch him up a tad. Come on, brush, cool. So I'm trying to find the simplest shapes that I can to describe what I'm seeing. And not following it 1000% either. It's just a good little exercise. And we'll knock this back in a minute as well. I think the head can be a little bit bigger, even though it's going to be further away from us. think we can even exaggerate that. Ah, come on. Why is that not cutting? I swear Photoshop's just changed some stuff with their selections. How can I do this? That's annoying. Yeah, well, just gonna have to roll with it. Knock it back. And let's see if we can play. So I really want to accentuate that neck sort of poking out. Maybe I'm going to scale this up a little bit, just so you guys can see on stream. It's a little bit clearer. Even the eyes, right? They're going to be following that looking up angle, or we're looking up at the face. I think oil is more toxic to inhale. I think it's the solvent with the oil, but you can get like more natural solvents as well. Okay, this is a good example of the whisper lines I'm talking about, right? I'm adding, maybe add like a backpack or something. But let's say I'm drawing this little pouch thing here. Right, coming in with these little describing lines. And make sure to overlap some of these shapes as well. Just some of these little describing lines, even just a little bit of like the trim of the pouch there, maybe even like a little button. It's not there, but I'm like a little press pin kind of thing. And then slowly put this puzzle together. Even like things like this, the seams of the garments or whatever they're wearing, right? That's a really nice indicator that we can use. But keep them light, or I like to keep them light. Oi. Excuse me. Wait, no, come here, come here, come here. Here, now, come here. All right, Winnie, come here, good boy. Good boy, come here. Oh, his instincts are kicking it. Come here, good boy. Good boy. Come and say hi to everyone. This, I don't think you guys have met Winston. He's the noisy one. He's the naughty boy. can just chill here until the other one calms down. Everyone's saying hi, but you two have been naughty. And here comes Ollie, holding down the fort. Tell you what, they are good alarms though. Like if someone was trying to break in or whatever, there's no chance that it would get past these guys. Someone sneezes next door and they go nuts. Alright, so now I'm getting the outline of some of these shapes going, right? I'll do the backpack later, if I even do the backpack. Just trying to see where some of these shadows are as well. One little tip when drawing clothing and stuff, to give it depth, I like to add again like another little whisper line, like it's a three-dimensional kind of thing. So you've got the edge of this whatever vest here, just adding an indication of depth and having it wrap around. Gives it just that three-dimensionality. You may or may not like it. I like to do that. Excuse me, just that little bit of indication. Winston needs a portrait now. I do want to play around with more animal stuff, so it's not a bad idea. Everything from the pocket to the chin here to the eyes, I'm thinking about perspective, making sure that it all makes sense in context of one another. See how the mouth doesn't look like a frown necessarily, but it's got a kind of dip downwards. But that makes sense in context of the angle, right? You want to go down, you got to be good? Okay. So just put a V12 engine on his back. Willie Art, hopefully you didn't answer this question already, but how do you find the horizon line on your reference images? Great question. Ashvin, hey, I'll get back to that in a sec. Hey, absolutely love your work. Can you break down what you look at in the reference while stylizing a portrait? I'll go through that right now. But Willie Art, I'm looking for things like, can I see the underneath of the chin here? Right? And then can I see, am I looking at the tops of the shoes? A lot of the tops of the shoes? Or can I see the bottoms of the shoes? And this is a nice little indicator here, that short leg. That's where I'm kind of basing my horizon line-ish, or my eye level. So then everything above that, we're going to start to look up, right? So if we're, one little thing is like drawing coins, right? If we were to think about that, that's kind of how I'm imagining this. Let's give him a little bit of So we're looking up underneath these coins, a little bit less, and then this is just going to be flat, and then like that, right? And then as we keep going up and up and up and up and up, we're going to see more and more of the bottom side. Now you can replace these coins with anything. We can think of this pocket here. Wherever it lays in here, it's got to have the same kind of perspective. If we were to draw cubes, all right, we might see it like this on the horizon there, and then we might slowly start to see it turn up, and then even more. And this is freedom, right? This is where it gets fun. You start to see where perspective comes in super handy. And this is why I keep preaching like all the time, simple shapes, simple 3D shapes. It's the best. But I'm not saying it's easy. I'm saying that's what I'm looking for most of the time, right? So this head, if we were to make this a box, again, boxes aren't the best thing to think of. Let's do like a cylinder. This head could fit like a cylinder. We're looking up at it. That makes sense, hopefully. The mouth is doubling as a contour line. In Gleed Ward, bang on. So, all these little things, the whisper line, like the little whisper lines here, the patches, these seam lines, everything like that are opportunities to show the viewer the perspective, right? So they're tools. They're not necessarily like, I think of them less as details and more opportunities to show what direction everything is in, right? The chin. We see the bottom of that because that's the direction that the head is tilted up at, you know? We don't see the nose front on, or we don't see the top of the nose, right? Because that doesn't fit the face. We see that bottom plane of the nose. Man, this is turning into a bloody lesson. But it's good to reiterate it for myself as well. That hand looks jank. Don't worry about it. We'll try again. So then as we go down, we can then try and even simplify this jacket a little bit. But not everything's a perfect little 3D shape as well. So that's where the tricky part comes in. With your art, perspective can be confusing, but once you start to unlock it, oh, the possibilities. I believe Proco has a perspective course out on pre-sale now, I think. I'll have to check it out with Marshall. I met Marshall Vandruff, lovely fella. All this stuff is very oversized, right? Did I meet any animals? Oh shit, did I ever? I saw my first squirrel. Never seen a squirrel before. That was very exciting. And I've never seen a hummingbird before. That was amazing. I was just walking back from the mall and back to the hotel, and then there's a freaking squirrel. I was like, holy shit, there's a squirrel. And then there's a hummingbird, and like how they've got the ultra fluorescent like top of their heads and everything. It's so cool. They don't get squirrels in Australia? I don't think so. I've never seen one. I don't think we have squirrels at all. So that was really cool. So now when you do like animation classes and stuff, how they use the bouncing ball with the tail, that was exactly, it makes perfect sense now how it just like follows. Seeing it in real life, that's such a good way to show it. Is there a way to use the same logic of shapes in the eyes? I find that the hardest part. Yeah, look, the same. It's exactly the same idea. The eyes for me. Sorry, everyone in chat that is sick of hearing me say this over and over and over again. But this helps me just as much as it helps you. Although my pen has disappeared. This is a sphere. All right. And the thing that's helping us show that we're looking up at the eye is that upper eyelid and the lower eyelid, right? Hopefully that makes sense. So you've got like a big pocket here. Another pocket that we can play around with. There's another opportunity to show form and how it's sort of stuck on the jacket itself. Understanding some of these creases. And just less is sometimes more with the creases as well. And I have been watching a lot of Kim Jung-gi videos, and you see how methodical he is with his drawings. He'll come through at like this speed. And just boom, boom. And just really take his time because he's analyzing stuff, right? That's something that I want to keep in mind as well, because we see all these time lapses, we see all the awesome artists just going bop, 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 bop. We don't have context around how that was made. Now another indicator is the sock here. Alright, so this sock is kind of, so maybe the horizon line's a little bit lower. We're fudging it at the moment, it's not the be all and end all. So then we can think about this here. Now I've been working on my feet a little bit. Just the simplified shapes. So that knee might be about here, that knee might be about there. Kind of looks like he's got flip-flops on. Right, so we're starting to get somewhere. Fungun's been adopting an earlier bedtime, early wake-up time schedule recently. Daylight savings made me wake up at like 6 a.m. Very nice. I've been utilising that as well. Bashar, Ben's compensating nicely for this drawing. Way to go, Ben. Not entirely sure what you mean. But thank you. It sounded kind anyway. Inglead Ward, do you think unique style is a refuge for artists to remain relevant alongside AI? I think, yeah, 1000%. I'm not playing in the same. At least I don't feel like I'm playing in the same stadium or game as AI or people that are looking at AI necessarily. I'm exploring. I'm taking influences from this person, that person doing sculpture, doing 3D work, doing this kind of stuff. Like, I think more and more the artist behind the art and the process is going to become more interesting than the final product, if that makes sense, which is fantastic. I love seeing the behind the scenes of stuff even more so than the final product a lot of times as well. Sugar Beats, Ben, I wish you would let us all color in this line art at the same time. That would be so much fun. Here we go. That's a good idea. So let's save this out. Good idea, Sugar Beats. I'll save this. Go to Discord. The Discord link should be in the description if you guys want to give this a shot. Let's have a look. Where should I put it at? In general chit chat, okay? Or maybe not, because that is really just like general chit chat. I should make a place for it. But some of this work in here, guys, is amazing. So let's come here. Layer 31. It's a PNG. So whip it in the background on like a white background and go to town. All right, I'm going to take a 5-minute break and I shall return. All right. come in and say hi? Hello. Alright, this is Ollie, for those of you that have not met. Hello. Okay. Should have taken a longer break. It wasn't 5. Ah, that's alright. Okay. Going to jail for lying. You can't colour the photo, why? Okay, let's scale this guy up a bit. He's a little bit low res. Excuse me. Can you stop the licking, please? Can you guys hear that? Hopefully it's not annoying. What are you doing? Okay. Alright. So now working with a little bit more. Alright, sometimes he just wants to lay on my arm while I work. Which is not the most ergonomic thing in the world, to have a Shih Tzu's head. Alright, let's go through and see. If we can kind of ink this how I would with the brush pen. Alright, but I can't do this with you on me. That's Ollie. I don't know how to share it otherwise. Sugar beets, sorry. I don't know if I can add. Olonies, yes, back in Adelaide. Engage with your audience. No, it's only polls. I can't add images, I don't think, unfortunately. Just coming through, being mindful of the direction of things. You see how much dimension it gives, or the perceived dimension, once you've got stuff feeling like it's sitting in the same perspective. This might be worth cracking open Clip Studio on another stream for more of this inking, because I think then Clip Studio is more known for the inking side of things. Just a little bit of an indication there of the eye without making him look cross-eyed. Another little thing I've found out is the double line. That's a nice little tool with the whisper lines instead of just a single whisper line, which is fine by itself. Doing just a nice little double line on like things that have thickness and they're turning, so you've got like a plane here and a plane here, but you don't want to put too much information there. Just a nice little double line. I've seen people do that, which is quite nice. Adam, is your new stream time the one you chose today, or was this just a special since you've had a break? No, this is going to be the same. Monday, 10:45, Australian Central Daylight Time, I believe. So yeah, this time. Now that's a spiky Adam's apple. But yeah, I got massively inspired with this kind of line work while I was over there. Now here's an opportunity, like here for example. Boom, boom, boom. So that shows the direction that this arm's going, but also the cross contour of that cylinder of the jacket, so we can do our own version of that here. Doesn't have to be perfect. Then we can go boom. Don't want to get too detailed with the folds as well, like I mentioned before, so just doing a little indication, trying to find what works, what looks okay. It's a good idea, or to keep in mind, at least that's what I like to do, is to, when I'm knocking back this underneath layer, right, I'm not just sticking to the lines that I've already done before. If I can find an opportunity to tweak it a little bit more, make the perspective a little bit more accurate, or fit the drawing a little bit more, I will do that. This isn't a tracing exercise. Yeah, clothing folds are really fun. Joshua Running Artist, thank you so much. The only major project I'm working on at the moment is my course. So that's about it at the moment. More details to come. Ray, how you doing? Hello. When you move into Pasadena, did you meet Lois? She's a bug fan. I didn't meet Lois, no. When am I moving to Pasadena? Well, as I mentioned earlier on in the stream, my goal is to get a place out there. So I probably won't move, but I will be spending time there. Definitely. Venus, do you find it limiting getting animation/art jobs in Australia? I haven't really looked, if I'm honest. So I'm not the one to talk to about that kind of thing. I do the social media stuff, like what we're doing now. And Instagram, YouTube, streams, and selling my art. That's where I'm at career-wise, really. But yeah, I don't know. I haven't explored that too much. Any opportunities that I've had have come from just through Instagram to work with studios and stuff. So annoying answer, I know. This is the Zen mode of the stream, where I'm just having fun, doing some line work. But even here, right, it would be easy. I mean, this is also a stylistic choice. It would be easy just to go boom, 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 and then you've got your sock. If you want to take it a step further into 3D land, we can really wrap it around and understand that that inner kind of lip stops there, and we can kind of wrap it around a little bit and even do a couple of more bumpy kind of wrap around kind of things for the socks. Just gives it a little bit more depth. Again, could be a stylistic thing. Ah, Flip Flop Enjoyer. Thanks so much. And thanks for popping back in. Yeah, the plan is this next year we're going to grow it like crazy. Fingers crossed, touch wood. But that's the work that I'm going to be putting in is going to be focused a lot to this channel. Yeah, I think having this screen tablet, the benefits are it's just direct, or for my goals at least, it's like direct contact. And I'm hopefully building muscle memory for more traditional stuff. Alright, that hand looks wonky as. But kind of, so does his, that hand's kind of oddly placed as well, so. Let's just maybe place his hand in a more natural position inside a pocket with his thumb kind of out ish. SIAG, how you doing? Oh, Lana. How you doing? Great to have you. Now, is this Alana that I met at Lightbox? Just double checking because I think there's a few Lanas in here. Ah, how you doing? How you doing? How's the little one going? I can't remember exactly. You were going to visit your sisters or your brothers, a sibling of yours, or something. Yeah, sorry, my apologies. Ben looks just got back from vacation. Yep. I was so fortunate on the flight back. So it's like a 14-hour flight. As soon as I hit that plane, I slept for like 10 hours. And I woke up. I was like, shit, only like 4 hours to go. There, that's the one. Yep, your brother's babies, that's right. Yeah, it was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. Loved every second of it. So I will be back next year. Might even be doing something with the Lightbox crew. Potentially. We'll see. But nah, super well run event as well. There was like a little oasis section where you could sort of go into the back just to sort of recoup. When I heard that, I was like, I'll be alright. I might go in there like for a coffee or something. No, you need it. Just a little alone time for 5 to 10 minutes. Because I thought I was going to be sitting there just drawing for most of it. But I got bugger all drawing done because everyone came past the booth, which is awesome. Yeah, no, it was great fun. One other thing I've seen as well is adding like a darker outline can really help. I don't know, make it feel a little bit more solid. So I'm going to try that. And then I think we might call it a stream, hey? This works. If we like push that leg back, no, it just looks like he's got a hairy leg. It's alright. I got a new iPad. That's sick. I'm jealous. Is that the one with the Apple Pencil that you can sort of hover over and you can see the cursor? I'm jealous. Aloni's, were there any moments that stood out at Lightbox? There's just so many. I just, like, inside Lightbox, after hours at Lightbox, like, it was just a whole, it was great. Cool. And you can click the pencil and it will change between eraser and draw. Ooh. That's nice. Gaurav, Ben, would you please try some Rajasthani guy as reference image someday? Rajasthani. Potentially. Not opposed to it. SIAG, fantastic. That's good to hear. See, this is the beauty of setting up our understanding of three-dimensional forms, right? So then we can just add things. I like adding glasses on people. I don't know why. Right, but we also want to keep in mind the perspective. Right, so this one will probably be somewhere around there. And it kind of fits and feels natural. So yeah, that was a good bit of fun. And with that, I just want to mention, it's plug time. Procreate got Black Friday sale, and you can pick up illustrating a stylized character. I've never put my thing on sale, so this is a time to get it. If you've been on the fence, definitely a time to pick it up. But it's not just the same course. It's got an extra section that I recorded on how I think about doing a head turnaround from imagination of that original guy. Alright, so go check that out. Proco.com. What else? The Filthy plugin, links in the description. We used a lot of that today with this little guy. This was good fun. What else? Look, we'll leave it at that, right? 2 little plugs, that'll do. Thank you so much for popping in. Appreciate your time. Alonzi, there were a few members from CDW I know that went there and enjoyed it. Not sure if you ended up meeting any of them. Yeah, met most of them, I think. Yeah, they were my table was kind of the home base for the Aussies from CDW to sort of put their stuff. Wait, can you check the Discord? All right, let's have a look. Thanks for popping in again, Lana. It was lovely to meet you as well. What have we got? Nice. cat painting is shine sick. So what am I looking at in Discord? But yeah, Discord's links in the description. People sharing their art. Whoop, did it just show up? Nice one, Sugar Beats. Very cool. I like the ear. Nice. I like the color palette as well. You got the purple and the orange. Good stuff. Sweet. All right, everyone. Thank you again for popping in. It's an absolute pleasure to be able to do this, to have you guys watch and chat and draw and listen to my rambles. So thank you once again. We're back at the normal schedule, same time next week, and I will catch you in the next one. Toodles.